And we are back today with another tier list video. We are going to be ranking MLB second baseman for the 2026 season. I hope everybody's doing well. Spring training just started up a couple days ago. Yankees put up 20 runs yesterday. That was really wonderful to see. And overall, it's really nice to see baseball back in spring training. The ABS system is really, really odd. Um, I I thought it'd be a little bit more natural, but it still seems like it's some guys are still getting used to it. I.e., Austin Wells, two straight missed calls yesterday as a catcher is a little bit concerning. But I'm excited to see how it goes throughout the season and how we adapt and how the players adapt as well to maybe to having this a part of their game, right? Maybe some players kind of just adapt and say they don't want to challenge, and I do expect some players to go about it that way. But as of right now, it seems like everybody's trying in every situation just to get used to the zone, and it's really weird to watch baseball games with a little bit of pause, I guess, in between balls and strikes. But overall, I'm a huge favor of the ABS system because if we can get the calls right, why not? That's always my thing. But overall, it's really nice to see baseball again, and we're going to continue these rankings all the way up to opening day. And let's go over the tiers before we start. Thank you for watching. If you could subscribe, leave a comment, like, all of it is appreciated. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Have a wonderful day. All right, for our tiers, here are our tiers. All right, we have seven of them today. We're going to be willing to expand if we need to, but what I have right here is the Lizard King that likes jazz in the first tier. That's our first tier. I'm sure you can probably take a wild guess on the two players that are going to be in there, and it's not Luis Ariz. He comes later. Weak at position. Simple. These guys will not be tier two in any other position, but they are here because this position. It's not very deep. It's not very deep. Has some potential, but overall, I'm not excited about the second base position going into 2026. For to be honest, Jake Gyllenhaal's stunt double. Pretty self-explanatory there. I think we'll get there. I think you'll figure out what that means and who's in that tier. May or may not be Christian Moore. We'll get there in a second. Fits the stereotype. Guys that below average in stature and width and girth and overall fortitude, but they fit the second base stereotype. Too small to play shortstop. Told they were too small to play shortstop. Told they didn't have the arm for it. But here they are in the major leagues at second base, defying all the odds that they have set for themselves in playing shortstop. They didn't need to play shortstop. They should have just always been second baseman. I mean, you're telling me, I mean, we'll get there, but you're telling me Gavin Lux was ever profiled as a shortstop? There's just no way. There's no way. He was always going to be a second baseman. And then we have the Jose Altuve of David Fletcher's. Pretty self-explanatory there. David Fletcher, good player, never a great player, not a great defender either. So you're the best of David Fletcher's. You can hit it around a little bit, not much pop, not great defense. Um, and yeah, then we got the Luis Ariz here, all the way towards the bottom, as a certified Luis Ariz. I don't want to say not enjoyer, but it's a kind of a not enjoyer. I don't enjoy watching him play baseball, and I don't think he's very good at it. And I'll explain why. And then for the bottom tier is named that. If I don't know a player, I know a lot of players. I know basically, I don't want to say basically every player, but we're about there. If I can't name that guy on your roster, this is where he goes. Random player generator. I could have called it. I could have called it Future Rocky, but I've already used that. So we'll stick with the tiers that we have, and let's get on into it. And let's start with. Oh, real quick before we start, if there's anybody that I'm missing, or you think that's going to be your team second baseman, leave a comment. This was already pre-made, so I just wanted to make that abundantly clear. Ernie Clement is actually such a great place to start because Ernie Clement is Jake Gyllenhaal's stunt double. Yeah, I could definitely see Jake Gyllenhaal calling up Ernie Clements, right? Calling Canada, asking to fly him into the country to be a stunt double for Jake Gyllenhaal. But overall, let's be honest. Ernie Clement, I know he had a great postseason. He's not a tier one or tier two player overall. He's what he's shown his career is a great contact ability with good defense and the ability to play all over. He's not a guy you most years you want getting 500 plate appearances. In 2024, when he originally came up, he had 12 homers, 12 steals, about a 690 OPS. He's just not that great of a hitter, if we're just being completely honest. His xWOBA, X slug, average exit velo, barrel percentage, hard hit percentage, bat speed, chase percentage, and walk percentage are all in the bottom 17 percentile, bottom fifth of the league. Not that great as a player, but his defense is elite. His defense is elite, so that's why we're gonna put him up here because I do care about defense. Unlike most channels on YouTube that just look solely at offensive numbers, I look at defense, and that's why I believe he is here in Jake Gyllenhaal's son. Marcus Simeon, this is kind of a weird one because at this point you can make kind of several arguments for who you think Marcus Simeon is. But right now he probably just fits the stereotype. Not a great hitter anymore. Really low exit velos and swing and still had good swing decisions overall. Played elite defense. He won a Gold Glove. So I'm going to put him in fits the stereotype because he does play that elite defense. But overall, his offense has been trending down for the last 2 years now, maybe a year and a half. And he's getting hurt now, and he's 36 years old, I believe, going into his 36-year-old season. I don't see this as a positive step forward for Marcus Semien, only staying the same or stepping back. So he fits the stereotype and looks to be the new Mets second baseman. Gleyber Torres. I'm going to put in weak ab position. Gleyber Torres has just been a really good second baseman for a lot of years. He's going to hit 280. He's going to have a 350 on base. He's going to hit 20 homers, unless you're going to choose ball here. They're at 38. And you're going to play fine defense at second base. This is really what I'm looking for in a second baseman. High enough average, high enough on base with decent slug that could play the position well. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Gleyber Torres is in that second tier. For now, again, always subject to change. I'll make that very clear. Everything is always subject to change. Bryce Terang, right? I mean, he slots right into Jake Gyllenhaal's stunt double. He was the influence for this tier. He looks like Jake Gyllenhaal's stunt double, and I could definitely see him playing in the movie. Or that guy from the Housemaid movie that just came out, the one with Sydney Sweeney and the girl from Mamma Mia, Amanda Seyfried. He could play his stunt double too. Really good looking face. Very handsome guy. Very handsome guy. Maybe I should ask him to come over. Bryce Terang hit the ball hard last year, increased his bat speed a ton, excuse me. And I see that continuing, obviously, for the 2026 season. He finished with an 800 OPS last year, and above 65 percentiles in xWOBA, but X batting average, average exit velo, hard hit percentage, squared up percentage, chase percentage, whip percentage, walk percentage. I mean, he just had an offensive explosion last year, and he's really fast in the 80th percentile speed. I think the defense is going to come back a little bit. The defense didn't love him last year. They basically graded him league average. But Bryce Terang safely ends up in the Jake Gyllenhaal's stunt double tier. Vital Marte. Let's just get these next two guys out of the way. Vital Marte and Jazz Chisholm. They're both in this top tier of the Lizard King that likes jazz for obvious reasons, right? One, it's named after both of them. And two, they are the two best second basemen in baseball. Now, I think I'll make this very clear. Ketel Marte is better. Ketel Marte is better, but I don't think it's better enough to warrant a separate tier. Ketel Marte is a fantastic player, and when I heard that he was on the market this offseason and when I was reading all the reports, I really didn't think he was getting traded. I didn't think any team was going to be willing to give up enough for the contract that he was on because it wasn't much. I mean, listen to these percentile rankings in X WOBA, X batting average, X slug, average XVLO, barrel percentage, hard hit percentage in that order. It's 97, 94, 94, 66, 83, 73. He doesn't. He walks. He doesn't strike out. He this. I mean, this is one of the best players in baseball. Not even just best second baseman, and he was above average defensively at the second base position. I know he's getting a little older. Maybe I give up now just a slight bit for that because he also doesn't run very fast. But he is obviously clearly in the top tier. And then you got Jazz Chisholm Jr., who had over an 800 OPS last year. X WOBA 78th percentile, X slug 82, barrel percentage of 91, bat speed 76, walk percentage was high. I get he struck out a little bit, but he's also a great defender at second base. Plus, with being a really plus base runner and a 800 or an 815 OPS player, 30-30. I think this clearly puts you in the top tier. Really, you're not going to. I want to hear an argument that says that he does not. I like Jazz. You like Jazz. The Lizard King likes Jazz. So he gets to stay there in that top tier. Luis Ariz, he's going to go in Jake Gyllenhaal. No, he's not. He's going in Luis Ariz tier. Here's the problem with Luis Ariz, and I think people love to shift one way or the other with him. Like he's either really bad or really good. Here's where I stand. No, I'm kidding. I'm with the other guy. He's not a good baseball player. Luis Ariz, if every single player in the major league swung as slow as him for the sole reason to try to just make contact, a lot of players can do this. Not everyone. A lot of players can do this. This is not a hard skill to have in terms of these major league baseball players. Obviously, for average baseball players, or sorry, for average like high school players and below, any average male or female, whatever, you are not doing this, right? But for major league baseball player standards, who can hit the ball at a very high rate, especially with some of these in zone contact percentages that we're seeing nowadays, hitting the ball with first percentile bat speed, first percentile hard hit, first percentile barrel percentage, sixth percentile average XWO, 16th percentile X slug. I mean, a lot of players can do that. Aaron Judge, if just to this metric, he can hit 370. He can hit 370 at this point and just give up all of his power. Like this just doesn't make any sense to me. And on top of it, he doesn't do anything else well. Nothing. He doesn't walk. He doesn't play good defense. He plays awful defense, actually. He can't run. He can't put the ball over the fence. And he's a second baseman. He was playing first base, a position you need a bopper at, and now he's playing second with the Giants because I guess it's the only team that offered him that amount of money to play that position because nobody else wanted to sign him as a second baseman. Obviously, he can't play second base. He can't even play first base. He had -9 OAA at first base. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why people think he's a good baseball player. His on base percentage is even low. With all those hits, you think his on base percentage would be higher. It's kind of aggravating. I don't think he can really get any better than this. I'm a Luis Ariz hater. Here he is. Nico Horner, weak ass position. Nico Horner is an elite defensive player. I mean, he is one of the best defensive players in the league. And if you combine that with the OPS that he had, you get a 6-win base. I think he's a 6-win baseball player. I think he was above average batting for the first run value, and he was elite base runner and an elite fielder, 96 and 97 percentile respectively. And you can even take this guy, and he's better than Luis Ariz in the hitting category in terms of doing damage. Right? He still gets doubles. He still gets some homers. But this is a guy who doesn't hit for power either. But guess what? He's a great defender, great base runner, great arm, can actually play second base. That's the difference between being extremely valuable and not valuable at all. Because he can do all these other things really, really well and put together a nice 6-4 season at second base. Ozzy Albies. I mean, he has to go and fix the stereotype, right? He kind of has to be. He's like 5'5". He's 5'5", switch hitter. The White Sox thought they were probably acquiring him when they got Luis Angel Acuna. If you know, you know. Ozzy Albies fits the stereotype. I'm not going to really elaborate too much. He had a down year. I think he can get back to what he was in 2024 and 2023. We'll just put him there and fits the stereotype and kind of move on. Jeff McNeil is the first Jose Altuve of David Fletcher's, and here's why. He makes a ton of contact, doesn't hit for a ton of power, but he plays okay enough defense to be able to be serviceable at second base. Unlike Luis Ariz. So he's the first guy in Jose Altuve of David Fletcher's because that's honestly not a bad spot to be. He fits a role. He fit a role in the Mets last year of disliking Francisco Lindor and bringing politics into the dugout. That's his role, guys. This is what he's known for. Um, I heard he's a swell guy. Just ask anybody in that Mets locker room, and I'm sure he was a very swell. Or maybe the A's locker room. Maybe ask somebody else. I don't know. Maybe ask Pete Alonso. No longer a Met anymore. Let's move on to Jackson Holiday. I think I have high hopes for him moving forward, but he fits the stereotype right now. He's a little shorter of a guy. Still, like I think he's 5'8", 5'9". I think he's going to be fine. I think he'll be a little bit better than these guys this year. I just don't think he's good enough to be Jake Gyllenhaal's stunt double. Um, I can actually make a cheer for him. Actually, I'm going to cheer for him. We're going to go with Tom Holland's stunt double. Baby face, right? Tom Holland, notoriously like 30 years old, but he looks like a child. Did I add it? Nope. Okay. Not Tim. All right. Tom Holland's son, well, that's where Jackson Holiday goes. I have higher hopes for him in 2026 than I do the others. I know he broke his hammy, I believe, but I know he'll be back for the start of the season or maybe a couple weeks after. I get a little concerned with that just because I know Gunnar had a rough year after having injuries that bled into spring and bled into the start of the year. But I'm pretty confident in Jackson Holiday moving forward. Next guy on the list, Romy. I actually don't think Romy's going to play second base for them, mostly also because he's only a lefty matcher. But since we are ranking Romy specifically, he's the Jose Altuve of David Fletcher's because he can't hit righties. I get it. He's a lefty matcher. I get it. But you can't be above this if you're a platoon. You just can't. It's not. It's just not possible. I'm so sorry, Romy Gonzalez. If we were ranking Christian Campbell, he'd be Luis Arias because he can't do anything at this moment. What I've seen, he can't do anything. Is this what's his name? Clay Meredith, Chase Meredith. Who is this guy? I know him. Oh, Chase Mydroth. I'm sorry, Chase Mydroth. That's who this is. Tom Holland stud double. It's simple. I love Chase Mydroth. Fantastic player. Came up last year for the White Sox. Instantly became a fan favorite of that organization. He's a shortstop by trade, but most of the time we will be playing that position, so that's why he's gonna roll over and play second base. Listen to a couple of these percentile rankings for Chase Mydroth. 99th squared up percentage, 84th chase percentage, 96th with percentage, and 88th in the K percentage with an above average walk rate. He does everything that you want. He's a positive defender. He needs to just get those exit velocities up just a little bit, and I think he could potentially be a Nico Horner type player. And I also get it. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He's about average, but I'm excited for chasing my draws moving forward for the 2026 season. I'm calling it now. He could be the White Sox only All-Star representative. Yeah, other than Lucas Montgomery, I guess. Um, who is this? Who is this? Who the fuck is this? Is this Gabriel Arias? I think this is Gabriel Arias. I think I'm going to rank it as Gabriel Arias. And if it is, he's going to be in the Jose Altuve of David Fletcher's. I have a little bit more hope for him. I'm pretty sure he has a decent glove at second base. Has a little bit of pop in that bat and has okay contact skills. I'm not going to talk too much about Gabriel Arias. I'm just going to put him there. Jose Altuve is now the Jose Altuve of David Fletcher's at this point in his career. I know he had a good year, the way he finished last year, but overall, I think he's going to be on the slight decline. I think it's hard to not say that, honestly. He's 36 or 37 years old. He's getting really old. I think moving forward, we're going to see good contact skills, not a ton of power, and okay defense at second base for Jose Altuve. If I'm just being honest, I know people aren't going to like this ranking. You can fuck off. I know you're not going to like this ranking, but he stole the MVP from 2017. Aaron Judge, argue with a wall, debate a wall. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Jonathan India is Luis Ariz. He doesn't do anything well on a baseball field except make contact. He doesn't hit for any power. He can't play defense. He can't run. We're moving on. Christian Moore. Uh, did I get rid of a tier here? Oh, I renamed a tier by accident. Oh, my bad. My bad. Okay. Sorry. Not renaming this one time. I apologize for the mistake. This fits the. Yeah, what's that? Percocet? No. Perfectly. Or just fits the stereotype, I guess. Sorry. Fits the stereotype. Christian Moore, short player. He's going to hit a little bit, going to field a little bit. I like him. He's young. I think he has the ability to improve next year because I think he will for the Angels. I think he has good bat speed, good play discipline. It makes decent swing decisions, especially for a really young player who was a rookie, I believe, last year. Luke Keeschel. I love Luke Keeschel. Not the Twins. Not looking forward to watching the Twins this year. But Luke Keeschel is a guy. One, he looks like Tom Holland. But two, I love the tenacity he plays with. He's going to play a solid second base. And he was pretty good before the injury, before he got hurt. Maybe an oblique strain or something, but he had an 827 OPS, 300 average in the games he played. He didn't qualify for anything, right? But really good approach at the plate, playing for a Twins team that is not going to compete. Excuse me, sorry for the yawn. That's not going to compete for a playoff spot in the year 2026. He's just not. He gets to get everyday at bats with guys like Brooks Lee and Matt Wallner and hopefully Emmanuel Rodriguez, maybe Eduardo Tate sometime. They're going to give these young guys a chance to play, and he's going to get a chance to play every day. And I think he will accumulate like 3 to 4 more this season. Is this? It's. I think this is Cole Young. I believe. I don't think it's Cole Emerson. If it's Cole Young, he's going to go with Jose Altuve of David Fletcher's. I mean, this position is just so weak. I just, I can't believe how weak this position is. Cole Young does some good things, hits the ball hard sometimes, plays really good defense. Not going to talk too much about Cole Young. I'm so sorry. Gavin Lux is Luis Ariz. In a way, he kind of like these are guys who only have one skill, and Gavin Lux, I don't even know if really has one skill. He's not a great base runner, not a great fielder. I think he's a converted center fielder now. He goes from shortstop to center field and back to second base. I mean, this guy's all over the place. He's playing for the Rays. The Rays are going to play him every day because the Rays won't have anybody else. I really don't know where to put him other than this. I'm so sorry, Gavin Lux. All right. Next, we have Josh Smith. I like Josh Smith, the former Yankee. Really good, just a really good player, like a really solid player. He fits the stereotype, though. He's short, slaps the ball over the field, plays good defense, hustle guy, great base runner. Exactly what you need in fitting the stereotype, because that is exactly what he does. He fits the stereotype. of a Major League Baseball player that is just he's just bang on average. He's bang on average in just about everything he does. Which is what I love for my second baseman, by the way, which is like what I absolutely adore in my second baseman. Matt McClain. I thought Matt McClain was going to break out this year. I know. I thought he was going to break out. He didn't. I'm cautiously optimistic for the big 2026 for Matt McClain. Not much was different, so you can argue he got a little unlucky. But at this point, I think it's completely fair to say that he's the Jose Altuve of David Fletcher's at this point. I just don't know what is being held for him right now in the major leagues, other than slapping the ball around, playing decent defense, not much power. And that's kind of where I have to put you right now. I'm so sorry. That's kind of where I have to put you. Okay, I realize this is a little rude. I think I was putting Jose Altuve this year. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was rude. That was rude. Looking back on it, I know he took the MVP from Judge. I got a little salty. I'm still in my feels about it. I I'm not going to apologize, but I will move on this year. Edouard Julien, new second baseman for the Colorado Rockies, I believe, if my memory serves me correct. Um, he is not very good at baseball. Do I just keep him in his own? I kind of want to put him in his own tier below this because he's really bad. Not a great defender. Not a great offender. You know, some really great offenders out there. And try and find words for Edward Julia. I mean, he doesn't do anything well. He had a 633 OPS last year, 615 the year before. He doesn't do anything good. He doesn't even have high bat speed. He doesn't. He pulls the ball a lot. He's not fast. He doesn't have a good. I mean, he's just not very good at baseball. I'm so sorry, Edward Julian. You're going to be in the same tier as Luis Ariz. Kind of a little offending to Luis Ariz, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. All right. So, sorry, can I get a drink of water? Now we're at Taesung Kim, Dodgers projected second baseman. There's a part of me that still thinks it's probably going to be Tommy Edman, at least for the start of the year, unless they move Tommy to the outfield or shortstop and move Mookie there. I don't know what the Dodgers are going to do with their players, but they have a lot of good ones. And Taesung Kim is probably the worst one right now, but I do have a lot of faith in moving forward. Um, I'm going to say he fits the stereotype for 2026. Remember, this is a projection. This is a projection, everybody. Not what you did in 2025. Although I'll use to influence where I put him, it is not just, hey, you had a good 2025, so you're automatically in a good tier, or you had a bad 2025, and you are in a bad tier. That is not how that works. Clearly, as you can see, but Christian Moore fits the stereotype because I think he is going to be better and will fit the stereotype in 2026. Xavier Edwards, man, he was really good. Unfortunately, he's nobody's stun double. Uh, Perfect. Now he fits the tier. Okay. So Xavier Edwards, really good ball player, especially once he moved to second base. He was not a good defensive shortstop, right? But it's weird. He moved to second base, and then he was absolutely elite as a second baseman in terms of OAA. And he's overall good. He was a good offensive player last year, especially playing for the Marlins in that ballpark. I know we only had a 700 OPS last year, hit 280 with good K and whiff rates, good squared up percentage, good sprint speed, with great defense. I mean, this guy is a Dominican Tom Holland. That's what me and him both. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Bryson Stott. I think he's consistently voted as one of the most overrated players in baseball every year. And I don't understand because Bryson Stott is a good, it's just a good ball player. No, is he a star? No. Okay, he is not a star at the major league level, but he plays good second base for a really good team. He had an average OPS last year by the league at 719, 13 homers, 24 steals, 260 average. Great base runner, good fielder, really fast. I really like Bryson Stott as a Philly. I think he's a good player, good little player. He fits the stereotype as a short dude. At least I think he's short, dude. If you told me he was like 6'1", I'd believe you. But I see him as a short dude, so I could be mistaken there. Be loud, Brandon Loud. And this is simple. If you're hitting 30 homers from the second base position, you're in the second tier of a weak at position. But I am presenting. I am projecting a little bit of regression. Therefore, you are Jake Gyllenhaal's stud double. Brandon Loud kind of actually like Jake Gyllenhaal. It's actually kind of crazy. Brandon Loud. Is he like squinting in this picture? I'm gonna get a better picture of my guy. This is my AL East guy for 6 years. I think 6 years, 5 years. Um, Bright Allow's a great player. 30 homers last year, 800 OPS. I get it. It was in the stadium that the Rays were playing in, right? The Yankees minor league field. But I have no doubt that he's going to repeat it in Pittsburgh. Maybe he gets a couple less homers, but if you're getting a 25 home bat from your second baseman with good defense and a great leader, is what I've heard from people that follow the Rays and talk about the Rays. I'm happy to put him in Jake Gyllenhaal's stunt double. Just a couple left. Oh boy. Oh, I know this fucker's name. It's not Victor Mesa, but it's somebody like Victor Mesa. It's like a junior. It's a junior. Wow, this is really bad. I mean, he's going to go under name that national. I do know who this is. Oh, Nasim Nunez, right? I'm gonna have to look that up later to see if that's his name. But right now, we're gonna add the nationals to this tier. Name that national. If you're Nasim Nunez, I'm so sorry that I did not know you sooner. You're also pretty booty at baseball at this moment. I'm so sorry. This Cardinal, this is the guy they're replacing Brendan Donovan with. I don't know who you are. Do I have a guess? And no, you're probably also not very good at baseball. We're gonna say name that Cardinal. God damn it, I can't spell. And this is the Padres starting second baseman in the rank. Like Zhu Wei Ling. Zhu Wei Ling, Wei Zhu Ling, Two Wei. Oh, God. Wait, I can't. To Zhu Wei Ling. It is the Padres guy. I have a little bit of faith that they're going to get something out of him. So we'll say he's the Jose Altuve of David Fletcher's. Uh, and I'm going to look over the tier list, but I think I really like this tier list going into next season. I think. Taking some big swings on guys like Christian Moore, Luke Keeschel, Jackson Holliday, Chase Mydroff, kind of that whole Tom Holland stunt double tier. Um, I don't think I'd really change anything. I don't think I'd really change anything here. I love Gleyber Torres feels a little off, doesn't he? Nah, he's fine. I'm gonna keep him there. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate it. This is the second base tier list for the 2026 season. If you guys have any complaints or would like something done differently or didn't like the tiers, just please let me know. And I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Thank you.